Turul's composed reaction gave Roka pause. As a seasoned slave master, he had seen it all. Yet, there was something about this young rebel that he couldn't quite figure out. He stepped back, not to ponder delicately, but to size up his approach, and get a full view of his muscular prey's tightly bound form. Like a trader sizing up a newly acquired stallion, Roka scrutinized the robust and fit torso, every detail. The youthful prime, the tense muscles rippling under the skin, fists clenched tight, arms battling against the shackles, even those deep manly grunts. A cruel smile crept across his face, a mixture of rough admiration and satisfaction at having such a specimen perfectly suited to withstand the more demanding and savage challenges he had in store. The giant knew the usual drudgery for the common slaves tied to this post, but he envisioned something far more brutal for this prime captive. Eager to fully exploit and display those impressive muscles for his own sadistic pleasure, Roka devised a wicked plan. This was no ordinary task. It was a cruel and calculated mission, entrusted to him by the king. Roka's index fingers traced down both muscular biceps. Turul's fists clenched tighter, and his muscles instinctively flexed, tensing and bulging under the touch. A rough mocking tone remarked that anticipated reaction.
Hard muscles.
The young captive sharply turned his head to confront the poke on one side, strategically unable to cover both sides. An effect his captor had intended. With that, Roka's other hand shifted from a gentle tracing to a firm grip, as he dug his claws into the opposite biceps.
Good for hard work.
The voice dripped with crude approval of the physical capabilities for labor. This maneuver was a deliberate tactic to assert control, compelling the new slave to abruptly turn his head in a swift, unforeseen movement. A deep, manly grunt followed, emphasizing the dominance he had clearly established. The slave master circled his bound slave slowly, his movements deliberate, transitioning from a direct confrontation to a more surreptitious position behind his back. His grip remained firm on one muscular arm, squeezing tightly, as he examined the flawless physique from every angle. This approach asserted absolute control, maintaining a covert dominance that kept his captive off balance, and unprepared for whatever might come next. The measured pacing also heightened the anticipation, playing psychologically with the sense of uncertainty. At Turul's back, Roka placed 2 fingers at the spinal column, and traced downward with deliberate pressure. His fingers glided along the broad expanse of the well-defined muscular contours, and he murmured,
Broad back.
allowing the words to hang ominously in the air. Then, with a sinister tone, he added,
Good for the whips.
signaling a grim future for the captured hero under his ruthless command. Turul's instinctive reaction only served to deepen Roka's cruel satisfaction. His arms strained against the shackles, stretching as far as his bonds would allow. His back arched, and his lats flared, causing his muscles to ripple beneath his skin, each outline sharply defined. His buttocks, thighs, and calves also tightened, showcasing the defined musculature, as he planted his feet firmly on the ground, assuming a defiant stance, signaling his readiness to face any torment without fear. Like a robust canvas taut, and ready for the challenging strokes. The cruel giant lingered behind his prey momentarily, engaging in a psychological game. Then, shifting his position, he moved to confront face to face, radiating authority and superiority. This time, his fingers did more than a trace. They dug deeply into the flesh along the line of a fresh cut that ran strikingly across the massive chest. Intending to exacerbate the pain from the previous wounds, he seized every chance to inflict more discomfort. The invasive and painful probing elicited a hiss of anger from Turul, a visceral response that not only reflected his physical pain, but also his defiance. With a swift movement that showcased his imposing presence, Roka transitioned from probing with his fingers to pressing his open hand solidly against the thick pectoral. His other hand quickly balled into a fist, held in a threatening pose as if ready to strike. Accompanying this menacing gesture, he uttered gruffly,
Very strong body.
Then the experienced master drew back his fist, initially aiming low as if to deliver a hook, but quickly redirected it toward the handsome face. He stopped the punch just short of Turul's nose, using the motion to intimidate rather than inflict harm.
Good for the show.
He sneered. Despite his sudden threat, the young prisoner's face remained unmoved, the expression steely and devoid of fear. That unwavering gaze silently defied the implicit threat. It made Roka's tactic falter, failing to elicit the desired reaction, and forcing him to adjust his approach. Twisting his fist, he pushed it under the chin, forcing the strong neck to extend slightly. As he applied the pressure, he taunted in a gruff, mocking tone.
Want to show off more muscles, huh?
His words, dripping with derision and crudeness, betrayed a hint of frustration, as he realized he was dealing with one of the most challenging captives yet.